Hello, my name is Sheila Swift and I am the Volunteer Events and Fundraising Coordinator for the school. My job is to manage volunteer needs. I am the staff liaison to the Home and School Association and I help coordinate our fundraisers. With the Home and School Association, we focus on student enrichment, community building, and fundraising. Our first all-school meeting is this Monday, the 28th at 6:30. That's a virtual meeting. The meeting information was sent out in the Green Wave today, and then there'll be an email on Monday morning as well. All are welcome. All parents are automatically enrolled in the HSA. There's no sign-up process or anything. You just show up and do what you can and go from there. This is our first meeting, and at this meeting we'll be talking about how we're going to still continue our traditions and our activities in a COVID environment, in a socially distant way. So we're open to ideas, we're open to out-of-the-box thinking, and we also have some new HSA leadership committee members you can meet. So it's a great opportunity to connect, even though it's virtual. It'll be some great information. So my role as the liaison to that organization is administrative. So I provide resources, room reservations. I can help with insurance contracts or financial contracts, purchasing, things like that. I do help with planning. I do help with some of the history from years past. What did we do last year? How much did we spend? Things like that. And I can also help with some planning. But the HSA is definitely a parent-led organization. So I definitely am more of an assistant rather than the lead. HSA coordinates the events such as family fun nights, grandparents' day, Catholic schools week, staff appreciation. So they're really fun events. They're traditional events for our school. So we'll have to do some of them a little bit differently. You'll notice on the calendar this year, trimester 1 in particular, the only event that's really happening is Fall Family Fun Night, and that will also be a virtual event. Grandparents' Day, the book fair, those will all be either postponed or will look a bit different. We're not exactly sure, but we know that they won't be happening in the fall. So again, our first meeting, Monday, 6:30, virtual. I also coordinate volunteer engagement. And so what that looks like is when there are volunteer needs in the school, my role is to match the needs with volunteers who are willing to fill that role. Right now, volunteering also is a little bit different, as many things are this year. We are not having non-staff adults in the building at this time, so that really changes what volunteering looks like at the school for now. It won't be forever, but it is for now. So for now, volunteering looks like playground volunteering. That's usually, it's a 2-hour window of recess. You can either choose to do 1 or both hours, whatever works best for you. Kids love it, and we've had really great participation and a nice variety of parents who've come in so far, and we really appreciate you taking the time. We've got some regulars, we've got some new faces, so we definitely appreciate the time that you take it to come and volunteer, and the kids love it too. They just they get to know the parents that come regularly, and then the kids whose parents come. It's always pretty special. So I encourage you to try that out. Other ways to get involved, we have our Sunday Fun Day through the Parish Harvest Fest. They are looking for volunteers for bingo. That's October 4th. They have a sign-up genius to get involved with that. If you're interested in being on the HSA Leadership Committee, that's another great way to volunteer. And then our Fall Family Fun Night, we can always use volunteers to plan that. So if you're interested in any of those things, or if you have questions, feel free to email me or reach out to the school. We'd be happy to get you connected. The other part of volunteering is that you need to be certified. This is mandated by the Archdiocese. We use a program called Virtus, and it's virtusonline.org. There are a series of videos. There's an online training that takes about an hour and a half, and 2 forms and a background check. There are instructions that I can email you. I can send you everything that you would need to complete that certification. We do ask that all volunteers are fully certified before they volunteer with children. So in particular, playground duty, you must be fully volunteer certified in order to do that. If you have questions or you're not sure how it works, give me a call, send me an email. I'm more than happy to walk you through the process. It's a little daunting if you've never done it before. It can take about 3 to 5 days to get your background check cleared. So I encourage you, if you think you might want to volunteer in the future, it's a good idea to just get that certification done so that you're ready to go when you are ready to volunteer. Recertification is every 3 years, so that's usually another online training and a background recheck. Again, you usually will hear from me if you're due for your recheck, or if something's missing or anything is looking a little funny. I'm your contact for that. And then finally, for fundraising, HSA is tasked with fundraising for the school. There's a couple reasons we fundraise. One very straightforward reason is if we're fundraising for something specific. So for example, we did the Summer Grant Challenge with the Schultz Family Foundation in July and August. And we were fundraising specifically for fall readiness for the school to reopen. So we were getting ready to have school more safely. And so we talked about technology, we talked about cleaning supplies, we talked about staffing, we talked about all the different pieces of equipment that we purchased in order to make in-person school safer. And then the other reason we fundraise is that tuition covers about 70% of the cost of running our school. And the reason that we fundraise is to bridge that gap. So you'll hear that phrase sometimes, bridging the gap, or the annual fund, operational costs. Those are all kind of interchangeable when it comes to the fundraising for that gap. So we have 3 main fundraisers throughout the year. The first is generally November, and it's Give to the Max Day. And this is kind of like a Giving Tuesday type of event. It's run by Give MN, which is a Minnesota-based organization that's their mission is to help small and mid-sized nonprofits grow in their fundraising. And so they provide the platform, and then we do the marketing and the asking for that particular event. In January and February, we do the Catholic Schools Raffle. So we ask students to sell raffle tickets, and then there are prizes for students based on how well their class does, or how well individual students do. And then there's prizes for the raffle ticket holders. So it's a really fun way to raise money and get kids involved in the fundraising process. And then finally, we have a spring gala. This will be the 5th year that the school has held a gala. It will be April 17th or 18th in 2021. And so we usually have an auction, we have dinner, different games, there's usually a speaker. It's really fun. We have a really good time. We were unable to have that event this previous spring due to COVID. So you'll notice that we did a pop-up auction kind of as an interim event. We had a lot of donations that were already given to us prior to COVID shutdown. And so we had the pop-up auction to kind of recoup some of that revenue. So if you remember, we raised about $23,000 between sponsorships, the pop-up auction, and other donations. So we've done really well with our fundraising in the last few months. We are very well supported by multiple groups of people, the parishioners in our church, our alumni, we have extended family in the school, and then of course school parents are also very generous. So I encourage you to find ways to get involved, whether it's volunteering or participating in some of the planning for fundraising. That's always encouraged and welcomed. We have other revenue streams for fundraising. We do a script program, which is like a rebate program for gift card sales. Right now we just do e-card sales, so you can see some of that information on our website. We have an Amazon Smile account. It's under the Church of St. Joseph. We also do restaurant community nights. Our first one is September 30th at Culver's in Rosemount. Usually restaurants will say, you know, anybody who comes in and says they're with St. Joseph School between the hours of this and this, will give you 10% of those sales. So for example, Culver's between 5 and 8 p.m. on the 30th, we earn 10% back on every sale that has a mention of St. Joe's. And so that's a great way to raise money for the Home and School Association as well. So there's two different kinds of fundraising. There's fundraising for the HSA, and then there's fundraising for the school. So the three main events I talked about, that's fundraising for the school. So things like the Amazon Smile, the Script, the restaurant community nights, that raises money for the HSA. And so the HSA funds staff appreciation, convocation prizes, honor slip, student of the month prizes, any resources or materials that we need for family fun nights, Grandparents' Day, Catholic Schools Week, all of those funds make those events happen. So two different streams for two different efforts, essentially. So if you ever have any questions about fundraising, volunteering, our events, if you want to be involved, if you have some ideas, I encourage you to come to our meetings. And if you have questions, please feel free to email me anytime. My email address is my name, SHEILA.Swift, SWIFT, at stjosephcommunity.org. Thanks.